name, sir?
Garda.
Sorry?
Chris Riley.
Chris, how are you doing, Chris? And your name?
Kira,
how are you doing?
not
How are
too
you?
bad, how are
No
you?
problem at all. Okay, so the situation is this, Garda. We're not trying to be cunts about this, alright? But the situation is that for years it's been going on with my flat. I've been trying to transfer back to County Meath. We were doing lots of activism years ago, exposing lots of corruption and various different things, and we had loads of history with the council. And then my rent was being overstated. And it went on for months and months and months. There was meetings and everything over it. They were saying they owed them €3,100 or €3,500. And then I said, well, give me a statement to break down, a statement to claim, because the staff members stealing money from the accounts. And Mark Deary says to them after a while, well, you're going to have to, he said, because what he's asking for is law, and that's just it. Like, so then they were doing this months and months and months. There was meetings taking place with John Calma, was my carer at the time, or whatever else, and with all the management. And then they come up with this figure of €2,160. I don't know where they got it from, but that's what they come up with. And I said, right, grand, no problem at all. I was having break-ins in the time, Castle Ross and all that, and I wanted to move back to Navan. So they come up with this agreement that I'd pay off the arrears that I'd owe when I come off the rent strike. I'd pay off the arrears that I'd owe, and I'd have 6 months of no rent arrears, and I could transfer back to Meath. So I did all that. And then all of a sudden now nobody knows anything about this agreement, even though some of them do know something about it. But in the meanwhile, I had TUSLA on saying that my children can't stay in my apartment because the apartment isn't accessible to my needs.
Where are you living in? Sorry.
So then after that, then I had my old HSE social worker and all. They were all trying to get me moved out anyway. Okay, so I was paying off. Then all of a sudden, this transfer fell through because Louth County Council don't own my house, even though I'm a long-term tenant of them, and that's corruption even in itself. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep this brief. So a few weeks ago, on top of everything, then I fell off a cliff and I broke my knee, my femur. I broke 2 ribs and I sideways dislocated my finger. And I was in hospital for nearly 10 weeks, 9 weeks or something. I was in hospital, and when that happened, Skin here as my carer. Bear in mind that TUSLA and the HSE and that were starting to say, no, the house isn't suitable for its needs, it's not safe. Right, they went in and put kitchen tiles, snippy kitchen tiles on the bathroom floor, and they put in a bath, you know what I mean? So you're stepping onto these, you can't put grab rails or anything in it. The shed is falling down, right? It's completely unsafe, right? Now, so that was Grand River. I knew this was going to become an issue. TUSLA even come in behind me. Everyone. The HSE, everybody, all I have to say, like even like people who I give out about, all were very supportive or whatever, always grand. We were in contact with the council, whatever, that was all grand. So for the first night we come out, the hospital came and the discharge, he had resigned as my carer. The HSE had come out then and they did a report, I have it there, the OT did a report saying that no, it's not suitable. And that was grand, right? I'm still paying rent. So for the first night, the hospital discharged us, even though he wasn't my carer. Now, the carer's allowance after what happened on Friday switched them. The community welfare officer says, this is crazy, like, this is a council issue, and the council do need to pay for this. But they switched him back on because we paid for the first night we stayed in the apartment, and it was fucking chaotic. And they were saying, no, because if you fall, both of you fuck, like, I have pallets and I have plates and pins and everything in my leg, like. So if he falls with me or whatever, you know what I mean, we're fucked. So the first night we stayed in it wasn't safe, it wasn't working out. So the second night, when we were waiting on the transfer forms, I paid for 2 nights in the hotel. I'm on social welfare, that's all I could afford. And I came in here, I rang looking for John Lawrence. I was told John Lawrence wasn't here and all that. I said, well, I'm coming in anyway. And I come in with my receipts. We spoke to some fella, Aidan, on Friday here. We have everything on video now. This is going to become, because I'm now making a complaint about this. Because then after that, right, obviously John Lawrence was up standing on the corridor listening to everything that was happening. Because he catches himself out in the video. And then the 2 boys came chasing us. We went to walk towards social welfare. And when we got over, the 2 boys came chasing us. And they mustn't have realised they were being recorded. And I was subjected to 10 minutes of abuse about how I don't wash and how I'm a prolific child producer. And when I started, well, what happened with Mead? What happened with Mead? So I explained to him what happened. And then he was accusing me of building the shed and tell me he did, more or less that he didn't give a fuck about my children and he didn't give a fuck about his. I had just 9 minutes of shit, like. I said, look at John, all I'm trying to do is get the money back and find out where we're going tonight, like. And so it's just chaotic. So then we requested their cameras, we put the video up online, the video went viral, so it did. We put the video up online and we requested the cameras from in here, from inside and outside, that are going to show exactly where he was you know what I mean, when that meeting with Darren, and why he didn't get involved in it. And we weren't going to make a criminal complaint against him, but I am now, because this morning I decided, right, we'll go through the complaints process. We put in the data protection request to get all the stuff that shows about the deals, like even me being brought back in to pay that rent under false potentials now it was, like, you know what I mean? Now I have files of stuff down below in the apartment of corruption that we got off their files. And John Lawrence blatantly kept saying, no, Mark. He was like, we'll call the guards. And then he said, I'll call the guards. And he says, no, Mark, no, the guards don't care. You don't understand. And unfortunately, that's the way it does seem about the corruption. Like, there's 2 guards dead. It's about resources. It took 2.5 hours tonight to get a squawker here. It's about resources. 2 massive land deals went on in the year the hospital closed. Big, very well political people. Enda Kenny appointed 2 people, one as a judge, one as a senator after it happened. There's people in this town with their hand on the teller, and we are all victims of it. It's taken, children can't get services, people like me can't get services. I was told the other day, sure, you're one of 300 people living in a house that's not suitable to your needs. I can't use a toilet, I can't use the shower. That's not accommodation, I'm paying rent. So I came in here today, I had told him before I come down, I didn't want trouble, I wanted me €240 back, and I was going to go and pay a hotel tonight where it was safe until we got it all sorted out. And they basically just sneered at me from 4 to 5, and then me basically told the security man, we need it yourself. Now, to be fair to the security man, there's no issue with them or that, like, you know what I mean? It's a mad situation, but like, they're saying, like, what are they going to do? Get the guards to bring us home to my house where it's not safe, where we have all the documentation here? Arrest us, bring us down the road, because that's going to be a section 40 straight away, because the detention is going to be unlawful. And you know what I mean, we're going, like, all this could have been avoided, but all the managers all had their little laugh and fucked off out the door at 5 o'clock after not leaving the thing. I'm not going home to somewhere where it's not safe for me to go.
Right, okay, well, I understand your complaint, but the problem is what you're dealing with is a civil matter.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
So it's a civil matter, so what you need to do is you need to go out to the solicitor.
No, 100%. With the council thing, yeah, I have, yeah. Ken Smith is involved in this.
This is a civil matter.
I understand, but him chasing me down, right, the other day, and intimidating us,
abusing us,
walking from and abusing us, the head of housing, John Lawrence, right?
It becomes
after
criminal.
him not supposed to be there and hiding up over when we met your man Aidan, and then come running after us and him guiding me on a frame that we could barely use and abusing us. Dogs abuse, like the stuff he says, like, people
stuff.
are horrified, very personal.
Did you say you have a video?
Oh yeah,
yeah, very
the whole
personal
thing.
stuff he said to him.
Very, very personal. And he
Told him he
admits
didn't
it.
wash. He said there was no need for it. He said, if you need to take a shite, Mark, he said, go over to the shower. He kept pointing, go over to the swimming pool there, and there's, you know what I mean?
Care about my kids. And
that's an attack on his emotions. That's an attack on
we're
his.
on about corruption, and we're on about stuff before, and he kept on about me.
That's fair enough. If you want to make a criminal complaint about that, you can.
100%. And
right?
he says
that's besides the point. But what we're trying to do is, we're saying down here, we got a call is the county council offices are closed since 5 o'clock.
100%.
Okay. You are perfectly entitled to have a protest if that's what you're at here. Like, I don't know.
We're looking for somewhere to go. We don't want to be here. Like, we're going to be ringing an ambulance shortly. Like,
but the staff here that are left here, as you said, the management are gone. The staff that are left here have no.
Well, that's
power.
100%.
They have no power to put you up anywhere else.
100%.
It's well above their pay grade.
100%.
But you need to
But
do is
that's why. But we rang the management this morning. So the case here is the best thing to do is.
What you need to think about too is, I understand, and you said it yourself. You're 1 in 300 as an unsuitable accommodation. They're dealing with this every day of the week.
Yeah, and it's
people
wrong.
But
mine's been going on years, and mine has been done on purpose.
I'm not 100%. I'm not disagreeing with that. But the thing is,
Well, I
you're
rang
perfectly entitled to
this
have a
morning
protest, but it has to be feasible. You're in a building that's supposed to